So now we're back to Imaginary Only. This one will be a bit of a doozy as we have a lot of ground to cover today. So much that I may have to split this into 2 videos. But that's okay. There'll be more to do, more to improve and all.
Good, because I was concerned at how lazy you were getting.
Anyway, off screen I went ahead and raised the equilibrium level. It shouldn't be too bad, but again, we haven't encountered the adventuring fight yet, and that will require some way to overpower it. So we'll be careful to increase it for now, and instead opt for staying at this equilibrium level until after. Call it cowardice, but 40% is 40% imaginary resistance. That is nothing to sniff at, and I'd prefer not making it that much harder than it really needs to. So after that, we leveled everyone up to 50. We're going to do a second take on the Divergent Universe, since we did not clear the real one the first time around from running it blind. It's significantly easier now that I know more strategies and mechanics from running it so much on the main account, as I know what to pick things now. And don't pay attention to the fact that I completely blanked out and forgot Welt was nihility for a moment. So, after we completed the simulated universe, for real, Scarlet gives us his praise, and more herder bonds as well as tickets. Which is nice, because we need those herder bonds in order to superimpose our light cones that we're getting. As well as tickets are always great. We should have enough for a 10 roll, at least on standard. Granted, we already have Welt, but we could get Yukong. I mean, we can always get Yukong.
You should probably give up getting Yukong on standard at this rate.
Never.
Well, you're committed, that's for sure.
Oh, hey, Professor. The achievement. Do you think it's Yukong?
Oh, what do you know? Gepard. He followed you from the main account, didn't he?
Oh, god damn it. He's E4 on there, too. You don't have to rub salt in the wound. After we get another character for our ticket fodder, let's go ahead and continue with the main story a little. We're at the precipice of the final boss of the Lively Folk arc, after all, where we have to follow Fushuan. Wait, hold on a moment. We have to stop here.
What? Why?
Well, because there's 2 quests that if we continue on, we'll miss them permanently, and one of them has 80 jades.
Oh, for the love of...
Professor, please, I need money.
Don't you have like 12,000 jades already and haven't even touched the other quests?
Yes, but I need what I can get for imaginary characters. Or your light cone. Or Eidolons.
We've already put off the story for so long, might as well, but I'll be holding you to that.
You think you can save some starlight from my light cone too?
Alright. Everyone will get their light cones eventually. Either way, it's time for an interlude. Alright, interlude over. Back to playing the game.
Oh, no, you don't. It's 5 in the morning.
Oh, but it's fine.
No, you're going to bed. You can work on this later.
But I'm right on the precipice of the boss fight.
Bedtime. Now, young lady.
Fine.
Did she just...
Seems like it.
Should I grab the...
No, I'll take her to bed. Come on, you.
Okay, so, new day. Well rested and everything.
It took you 3 days to come back to this.
Yeah, well, it works slow. But good news. Imaginary Element just can't stop winning. We have Yukong finally on raid up for the new patch. So now we don't have to try to get her from the Forgotten Halls. We also got new tickets, new goodies, and March 7th is finally going to be joining us as our second hunt character. Oh, don't be like that. She's mostly a support.
Oh, well then. Why didn't you say that before?
Well, she's sub DPS.
I'll allow it.
Alright, now, since there's nothing else on offer for the banners. Well, let's just fish for a copy of Yukong and get back to the main story. Wow, that was actually a pretty nice roll.
Is that all 3 rate up 4 stars?
Well, that looks like it.
Aventurine.
Alright, so Yukong. Let's go ahead and level her real quick and suit her out with relics. Oh, by the way, in the last video, I briefly touched upon the mechanic Finality's Vision, which allows us to do content way before it actually comes up in the story, for a limited time. We were able to bypass Chapter 2.3 using this mechanic, as it allows us to run the Divergent Universe early. Well, now they finally extended the mechanic to events. So we should be able to bypass the requirements of certain events and jump right into them right as they launch, allowing us easy and early access to March 7th's new role via getting one of her Eidolons. So let's go ahead and interlude again for March's new form. So, an update to this section. I'm an idiot, and found out that Eidolons don't directly unlock the character for you, and you still have to do the chapter to get them unlocked. Harmony Trailblazer was a different case of allowing you to unlock early, as well as if you've done it already, gives you an Eidolon. This is not a Fate Grand Order situation, unfortunately, where a copy is a copy regardless. So yes, this next part will be me talking about the event that occurs after the chapter that she's unlocked it. Whoops. Oh well. I'll talk about the event regardless, as it's mildly interesting.
At this rate, Fushuan is going to be standing there for a week waiting for us.
Oh, she'll be fine. She had to have seen this coming.
Okay, well, I can't argue that.
So the event itself is mildly interesting. The mechanics work in a similar fashion to a trainer visual novel, where you're tasked with training March in Swordplay in order to beat a reoccurring NPC named Scott, who's kind of a jerk. Anyway, so you train the right stats in the allotted time in order to clear thresholds. And...
Hello?
Yes?
You're recording a video. You can get your mind out of the gutter now at any time.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. The cutscenes have manga panels, like so, which provide another layer of polish to really highlight this being a Swordmaster event. Definitely trying to appeal to the Blade of the Immortal or Vagabond aesthetic.
Yes, I'm sure that's what you were thinking. You certainly weren't thinking anything else momentarily.
Anyway, after you clear the stat thresholds, you then learn and level up skills before it throws you into a mandatory auto battle to see how you do. If you do well enough and the AI wins the fight, you continue on to the next chapter. Clearing a route and getting an ending gives you an Eidolon. That's pretty much the long and short of it. We'll cover the actual story chapter, where we can unlock March in the next episode. But for now, let's actually move on to the Phantylia fight. So, this fight isn't necessarily that difficult, but there are a lot of things to worry about. For one, Phantylia has these flowers which will suck skill points, which means that this is an incredibly hungry skill point fight. Unfortunately, this means Yukong will not be able to assist us very well, as her abilities only last one turn, and they do cost skill points to do it. Considering that we have to use them pretty often already for Aventurine until we either get his second or third trace, as well as Ratio needing them for his follow-ups, we're even more hurting for them. Luckily, she is weak to Imaginary, which means that Harmony Trailblazer will be even more of a help here, thanks to Super Break. But don't worry, Yukong is still very useful in fights that do not have Imaginary weakness, since her crit buff is quite potent, and most of the party appreciates crit. Another annoying thing in this fight is Jingyuan's inclusion. He has to be here for this fight, and he's not Imaginary. What's worse is we have to make sure he is kept alive to the last cutscene, and this fight will spam a debuff which reduces half your health, and it's strong enough to overcome our effect resistance. But as long as King Yuan is not touched by anything else, it should be fine. We also get another helper in the form of Daniel, Dan Hang, as his imaginary self, which I used as it should count as imaginary, even if it's a story ability. And after all that, we finally beat the Liufo arc, and finish the closing epilogue of sending Tin Young's stuff to the Great Blue, lamenting her death even though we knew her for all of maybe a day and a half. R.I.P. cute fox girl. I hope if you come back as imaginary. Anyway, this is a two-parter. I plan on going over the actual Swordmaster Trail continuance mission, as well as the story after with March, as I believe that does take place timeline-wise with the end of Phantylia, before starting up Pinakoni finally. We'll be done with the story soon, and then we can start getting into the harder stuff. So, either way, like, subscribe, or don't. I'll put out the second part of this video shortly.